If you're ready to learn about all there is to know about the South Charlotte area, areas just like Pineville, North Carolina, well, you've come to the right place. We're going to share in this video about the Pineville area and homes priced within the $400,000 range. So stick around because we're going to jump in and start exploring and learning about homes in this price range in this area in Pineville. Well, it wouldn't be South Charlotte if you didn't hear cicadas in the middle of summer, buzzing, chirring, whatever noise they make. But so you're going to hear some cicadas. But as we jump in, we're going to first start off with our first home in the Pineville area. It's actually closer to Ballantyne than it is really to the downtown Pineville area. But as you're going to see, location is what it's all about when it comes to the prices, and for $400,000 and in that range, and for what you can get in the Pineville area, it's really attractive in a lot of ways. There's drawbacks, but there's positives. If you haven't seen our video, we recently shared with the pros and cons of living in Pineville. That's a great one to reference when we talk about the location and the pros and cons of Pineville. So let's learn a little bit more about our first property here in Pineville. So our first property, which is priced at $489,000 currently. I say currently because it's been on the market about 3 weeks now, and it is, so there may be a price adjustment, but it's going to stay within the $400,000 range. But I'm located in the Winghurst community, which as you drive through the community, most of the homes are either the late 90s, 1999 to the early 2000s. And you can see just from the construction, the layout, they kind of have that feel. Although this home is really nicely updated throughout the home. But the community, the homes, you see a lot of vinyl siding. Actually, all of the homes that we saw as we drove through were vinyl siding, as well as this one. But this home is just under 2,000 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms. And all of the bedrooms are upstairs. It's just laid out where if you are gonna, have sleeping arrangements, it's all gonna be in the upstairs area. Updates are, nicely. It's just like I said, about 2,000 square feet, but you're not. It doesn't necessarily feel like it. Obviously, it was built 25 years ago. They just updated all of the flooring, the kitchen, the lighting, really nicely updated. Reality is, from a location standpoint, it is located right at Ballantyne. You make 2 turns and you're on Ballantyne Commons Parkway, which is essentially the main drag, I guess you call it, through the greater Ballantyne area, where the business complexes are. As I said earlier, it's much closer to Ballantyne than it is really to the Pineville area. The next 2 homes we're going to check out are really in the downtown Pineville area, right off the downtown kind of strip in Pineville. But this is really closer, like I said, to Ballantyne. You have, from a school perspective, there's a brand new school, it's Ballantyne Ridge High School that's opening this coming fall, which will have just freshmen, sophomore, juniors attending, and then seniors will go to the current high school, which I believe is Pineville High School. So the schools are going to be brand new for students attending, and so that's really a big positive. As we drive through the community, you can see it's not a highly HOA area. The fee, I believe, is $189 a year for the HOA fee. There's also no pool and really community amenities, so you're not having to pay into that. But that's the Winghurst community, right off of the Lancaster Highway. So it's Lancaster, it's highway that drives you right into Ballantyne Commons. So that's our first property, priced, like I said, under $500,000 for a brand new, renovated, not brand new home. Let's jump into our second place. We're gonna ride over. We'll start checking out our next property and get your thought. I'm very interested in your thoughts on this property as well. How does that fit within your expectations of almost $500,000 in the Pineville area? So let's check it out. leave your feedback, and we'll move on to property number 2. And before we jump into the second property, let me remind you, if this is your first time to the channel and you do want to know all things about South Charlotte, we're continuing to update and create new content. So make sure you subscribe so you'll be the first to know as new videos are shared every single week. We love your feedback. We love hearing from you, people just like you, every single day that are interested in learning about the South Charlotte area. So make sure you reach out. All of our information's below. Let's jump on the Zoom. I'm happy to chat and help you in any way. I'm Steve Gerald with the Longleaf Group, and I absolutely love helping people just like you. So with all that said, let's jump back in. Let's check out our second property in the $400,000 range in the Pineville area. Our second property, which is in the Chadwick Park community, really within the downtown Pineville area, which it's right on the strip. And you turn off of it and you are within 100 feet of the downtown area. So you can have a night out, walk to your night out on the downtown Pineville, which is really cool. We've talked about it before, about the things going on in the downtown Pineville area. And this community, which is a townhome community that were built in 2018, are really nice, really newer, especially considering a lot of the things that are on the market, homes that are on the market in Pineville. 2018, this is a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bathroom, actually 2.5 bathrooms. So if you look on the MLS, it says 3 bedrooms, but it's 2.5. And all of those bedrooms are upstairs. Obviously, with a newer build like this, you have newer mechanicals. The HOA is about $180 a month, as opposed to our first property, which was a year. But you also have the exterior maintenance that you would expect with a townhome that are covered under that HOA fee. There's no pool or amenities like that, but you do have a nice newer community that you're generally going to have an HOA fee, especially with a townhome community like this. It's this particular townhouse is right at 2,000 square feet. It's actually a little bit bigger than the single family home we just looked at. This one's priced less. It's been on the market just about the same amount of time. It's priced at $455,000. So still in that $400,000 to close to mid $400,000 range in the Pineville area. You're really paying for location in this instance because it's a downtown community essentially. So you're able to enjoy the best of both worlds in this one, but you're also if you're in downtown other parts, whether it's downtown Waxhaw or close to uptown Charlotte, you're going to pay considerably more for something like this in other parts of Charlotte. The schools, the drawback from the rating of schools aren't as high as if you were in, say Waxhaw, looking at places like gradeschools.org. So newer, it's, as you can see as you check it out inside, nice updates for a 2018 townhouse, and it's just a really nice community as you drive through. But this just to give you an idea of what you're going to get for this price point in the essentially downtown Pineville area. And we're moving on to our final home to give you an idea of what is available and in the $400,000 price range in Pineville. This is an interesting one. The home, it's kind of like which one is not like the other. This home, it's a brand new construction home by Red Cedar Homes, and a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. But as you drive through, and you'll see this, occasionally with some smaller builders or investors, where whether it's a lot that's been sitting there or an older home that just gets torn down in the middle of an established neighborhood. And that's exactly what this is. The homes, the homes around it are built in the 50s, 60s, all brick ranch homes, and then this new construction home just kind of pops out. Nice build. Obviously, it's a brand new home, 1-car garage, less than 2,000 square feet. So it's a smaller home, a brand new home, but it's kind of in an area where you wouldn't expect for a new home by itself to be there, but priced at $435,000. minutes to downtown. It's literally a half mile from the second home we just checked out, the townhouse right by the downtown area. So you're right there, downtown, Pineville Lake Park, a lot of the things that you have right there in downtown Pineville. So that's attractive. The drawback being that you're kind of in a still developing neighborhood, and I think you'll probably see some more new development going on, some renovations, new builds, potentially tear downs that they build new homes, obviously like this one. Yeah, you get a lot of the new home amenities in this one, priced in the lowish $400,000 range. So it's not surprising this one didn't take long to go off the market. If homes aren't priced well, they will still sit there in this market. Really, any market, it needs to be priced well, just especially in this market. But this gives you an idea when it's priced in the 400 range that it's either going to be in an area like we saw the first one close to Ballantyne for Pineville, or it's going to be close to downtown, newer like the townhouse, or a brand new one in a community just like we're seeing right now, that it's well built, brand new, and it's priced well in this area. So that's our third home. You can tell we started higher price point, moved our way down. Pineville has a lot to offer, both from more attractive price points compared to other areas for what you're getting. The downside, schools, comparing, it's a lot of people compare where they are to Ballantyne to Pineville, and they're just two very different areas to really compare. That's our overview, and that's our third home to give you an idea. All very different homes, so hopefully it gives you some perspective of the Pineville market and homes priced in that $400,000 price range. And thank you so much for joining us as we explored the Pineville area homes in the $400,000 price range on this muggy day. Part of the videos of the homes, the rain's coming down, so now we're dealing with the fun mugginess of a hot summer day, but absolutely gorgeous homes and options in Pineville. We love hearing from people just like you want to learn more about options in South Charlotte, whether it's Pineville, wherever it is. There's a lot to learn, a lot to share, and we absolutely love it, so make sure to reach out. I'm Steve Giro with the Longleaf Group, and I look forward to hearing from you, and until next time, we'll see you then.